Hi there, this is another video on our channel, and we are doing now interpreting negative numbers. So, here's the question. A theme park uses positive numbers to represent when a roller coaster is above ground and negative numbers to represent when a roller coaster is underground. How would the theme park represent a roller coaster that is 17 meters above ground? So, we need to know. We already know that it uses positive numbers to represent when it's above ground. And this says above ground. So we know that it uses positive numbers. 17. So the correct answer would be 17. Because this has a negative number in it. Has a negative sign in it. We don't want the negative sign. So A is the correct answer. As you see, that this is negative, so you know that this is incorrect, and this is correct because it's positive. You don't have, sometimes some things like to do plus 17, and you may like to do that as well. But you only need to do this when it's addition and not subtraction. You only need to do this when it's addition and not positive numbers. It's just as a reminder. So you just need to know that you don't need to do this. All you need to have to do is 17. Because they don't say plus 17 here. They don't say plus 17 here. So now, how does the theme park represent a roller coaster that is 3 meters above ground? So, below ground. So we know that when a roller coaster is below ground, we know that it's a negative, as it says right here. So, we would pick the negative 3. So, always we need to have a negative when we are doing something. Negative, because we can't just put 3. We would mistaken that for a positive. So we must always put a negative 3. A negative. Negative to represent a negative number as a negative 3. So it would be negative 3 meters. As you see, this is a positive number, and we can never put a negative with a negative sign or a minus sign, as some people like to say, with a positive number. In a board game, negative number cards represent moving backwards and positive number cards represent moving forward. For example, Dimitri drew a card with negative 3 and moved backwards 3 spaces. Stan draws a card with 0. What does 0 represent in a board game? So there are more. So we know that B is automatically incorrect because, as you would see here, moving. So losing points would have nothing to do with it. So we know that B is the incorrect answer. The negative of space he moved on the last turn. That is also incorrect. Because we are talking about moving right now. We're talking about right now. Right now. So, we cannot put anything of the past. So basically not past. So this would also be incorrect. But we know that this is correct because it's not moving any spaces right now. This would not be moving any spaces right now. And not only that, 0 means nothing. Well, it doesn't necessarily, it's not necessarily worth nothing, but it means nothing. nothing. So we automatically know that you are not moving any spaces. Therefore, the answer is C. Jonas is planning out his route for an upcoming race. He uses negative numbers to represent the points before the finish line, positive numbers to represent points after the finish line. On Jonas' map, there is a bridge at negative 1 and 3/4 meters, and his wife is watching him at 14 and 1/2 meters. What does 0 meters represent? As you know, 0 means just nothing. But in this context, it can't mean nothing. So negative, you need to take note of the negative here. So there's a bridge before the finish line, and Jonas's wife is watching him after the finish line because there is no sign here. Negative numbers to represent, and he used negative numbers to represent and the points before the finish line, which is this. And positive numbers represent points after the finish line. So we know that his wife has a positive. So 0 obviously represents is the finish line because that is the point between negative and positive. Between that is 0. Less than negative, more than negative, less than positive. And this explains why. Hey, the bridge is at negative 9. It cannot be the bridge because the bridge is at negative 91.3 meters. In 3/4 of a meter, not 0 meters. And we know Jonas' wife is at 14.5 meters, not 0. And 0 meters represents the finish line. Last month, Lucia's bank statement says that she had money in her account. Her bank balance was 132.32 rubles. This month, Lucia's bank balance is negative 3.12 rubles. What does that mean? Choose one answer. Lucia overdrew her account by 87 rubles. Lucia has 87.12 rubles in her account. So we know that this cannot be true. Well, this cannot be true because it's a negative number. And negatives never mean things are there. Or when we're talking about amounts, negatives never mean that things are there. That means things need to be given. So we know that her account, she has debt because she overdrew and now she needs to pay it back. So we know A is the correct answer. Having money in the account is represented with a positive balance. Exactly. Having an overdrawn account is represented with a negative balance, as they would say. Geographers use negative numbers to represent points below sea level and positive numbers to represent points above sea level. For example, the lowest point in Minnesota is negative 17.3 meters, and the highest point is at 14.1 meters. What does 0 meters represent? Well, Apple Valley either is in Minnesota or it doesn't have anything to do. It has nothing to do with Minnesota, so we know that this has nothing to do with anything. So this is incorrect. The lowest point in Minnesota is negative 17.3 meters, so we know automatically that it's not 0. Because negative 17.3 is not equal to 0. Everyone knows that. So we know that that is sea level because sea level is just straight and it is 0. So, the city of Apple Valley isn't mentioned at all. Like I said, it has no relevance. The lowest point in Minnesota is negative 17.3 meters, not 0, as I said. And 0 meters represents sea level. Banks use negative balances to represent when the customer owes bank money, and positive balances to represent when the bank owes the customer money. Doesn't have a balance of $0 in its bank. What does the balance of 0 represent? So, we know that 0 means nothing. So, we know that Justin has no money in his account. So, you know, the bank doesn't owe Justin money. Justin doesn't owe bank money, but neither Justin nor the bank owe each other money. So, the correct answer would be A. Balance of 0 is the same as being even. Justin owing the bank is represented by a negative balance, not 0, and the bank owing Justin money is represented by a positive balance, not 0. So we are getting short on time, so we are going to make this a bit quick. So we know we got a 100%, and we got 7 out of 7 correct. We got 135 energy points for being right, but we can always get more from this part for actually not just completing the cast, but for continue trying. And this is from Khan Academy, as I said before in my last video, as of a lot of mine are going to be in my videos. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the bell, hit the subscribe button, then hit the bell. Leave a like and leave a comment of what you think and what I can do better with my videos. Please no unnecessary comments. Bye.